What up? Welcome to another Markland Mondays conversation. Tonight we're going to be talking about comfort zones. But before we get into it, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. We got a couple things that are going to be coming down the pipe pretty soon. We're going to be extending these Markland Mondays conversations. We're going to be doing them more than just Mondays. Anyway, I'm not going to go too much into it. It's just be aware that it's going to be coming soon. As well as, I don't know if my Ready to Love fans, guess what? They supposedly just dropped the trailer. I hadn't seen it myself, so I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be pretty interesting. If it's anything like the last couple seasons, I am looking forward to it. So, as soon as they drop the season, I'm going to be doing my reviews for that. So, like I said, if you haven't already done so, please be sure to like, share, tell somebody about what we're talking about, and subscribe to this channel. Welcome to the show, y'all. I am Christopher Markland. That's why we call it Markland Mondays. I am an author, entrepreneur, and lover of love. I love love. I love relationships. I love dating. I love, sex. I love marriage. I love all of those things. And especially when it's covered in black skin, my God, I love it. And that's the reason why we have these conversations. We talk about different subjects and topics dealing with dating, dealing with relationships, dealing with marriage, dealing with sex, dealing with all of the components that go into a happy, healthy, loving relationship. So before we get into it, let me set up a few things on my end. Y'all bear with me as we get a few things together. What up to the chat? What's going on with y'all? Appreciate everybody joining in, everybody joining in the conversation. So let's get into it. Why don't we? If I can get myself together. The only problem with Markland Mondays is that it's on a Monday, y'all. I'm not a good Monday person, man. But you know what? I'm also determined. That's why my publishing company, everything that I do is called Determined Books, Determined Enterprises, all that. You may not like it, but damn it, you got to do it. So let's get into it. Tonight we are going to be talking about comfort zones. Comfort zones are really a part of basic human nature. Going all the way back to when we were kids. Think about it. We had our security blanket. We had all of those things that, for the word, comforted us, right? The things that we went back to, whether we sucked our thumb, all of those things, we went back to that space of safety, being hugged by Big Mama, being hugged by your grandmother, all of those things. Those are the things that gave us comfort. And I guess it extends all the way into our adulthood where we are now. But before we get into comfort zones as it deals with relationships, as it deals with, dating, let's just talk about how we rely on certain comfort zones in our day-to-day life, right? Now, for instance, we go into like traveling. Y'all know I'm from Jamaica, and there was one time in particular I was back home. It was a couple years. I went with my father and my son. We were there, and we went to this place where it was Ocheria's, but we stopped at this restaurant that was like famous for their jerk chicken. So while we're in there, we eating and we're doing our thing, right? We're doing all of that, right? And a couple of cruise ships docked. So all of these people got off the boat and they hit this spot. So you see all of these tourists, and they go to a place that's serving all of this traditional Jamaican food in Jamaica on the friggin' island, and people started ordering. I'm listening to people's orders. Yeah, let me get an order of hamburger, some french fries. Yeah, let me get some pizza. And I'm thinking to myself, you motherfucker. One, I was a little offended because, like I said, I'm from there. I'm proud of my culture, proud of my heritage, proud of all that. And people go there to a whole different island, a whole different, place from where they are to order the same things. Why? Because it's comfortable. It's their, we call them comfort foods. We call them things like that. It's like I've got some friends over in Puerto Rico right now, and instead of that, I'm not even going to go into all that, but it's like you're all the way over there. Take advantage of it. Don't go back into your comfort zone because you're scared to try something new. We're going to put a pin in that comment because that's what we're going to touch on in just a little bit, right? So it's like, whether you travel or whether you're here in the States, if you're going to keep doing the same thing over there as you did over here, then you're not branching out. You're not learning. You're not growing. You're not expanding who you are. No, Carrie, I was not offended by the pizza. But anyway, now let's talk about the comfort zones in your job or your careers, right? Now, I served in the U.S. military, but when I got out of it, my job in the Army, I was a fuel and electrical systems repairer, a.k.a. mechanic/technician. Worked on trucks, tanks, all that other good stuff. So I was in transportation in the Army. When I transitioned out of the Army, I stayed in transportation. And next thing I know, 20 years in, I've been in trucking my whole adult life, right? So I've driven trucks, owned trucks, managed trucks and drivers and all of that. I knew trucking, I knew transportation. That was what it was. However, I met this young lady, me and my then wife, we were flying going overseas, going to Cancun. And there's, on Southwest, and if you've ever flown Southwest, there is no designated seating. You just get in where you fit in. So on the flight, there was a young lady that just happened to be sitting in between us because, her and her husband couldn't sit together. And on that flight, we started talking about real estate. And that conversation changed the trajectory of my life because I got out of the comfort zone of trucking, transportation, which is what I knew, and I started something completely different, and I've never looked back. Now I'm still in trucking, still in transport to a lesser extent, but to the same extent. But my point is, if I had stayed in that same comfort zone of what I knew, then I would never know the lifestyle that I have right now. The same thing goes for my wife. She was in real estate. She was a mortgage banker. She'd been doing that for damn near, I want to say, going on 10 plus years. She stepped out and said, you know what? I am tired of this. I'm tired of that. She stepped out of her comfort zone because Lord knows a woman can do a mortgage in her sleep. I mean, she's always crunching numbers. It's like, if I say, hey, it's $4, she's like, nah, it's $3.98 because in the mortgage world, you've got to be precise. That was her mindset. That was her comfort zone was mortgages, but she stepped out of that and got into trucking, how life goes full circle. My point is, if you do not stay in your, if you stay in the same place, stay in that comfort zone, you'll never know something new. You'll never know. You've got to expand your limits. And just as an aside, the story that, me meeting the young lady on the plane, I actually talked about it in one of my books. I described that story to a T because in Desperately Seeking Pleasure, my second book, the young lady that was there, she's also on the cover, by the way. But anyway, in that, when I told the story of how we were flying, because Lord knows she was scared of flying and she damn near, that part of my story was actually a real situation, and that's something I always write in my books. I take real situations and put them in. That's just an aside. Anyway, back on track. So it's one of those things where if you don't get out of your comfort zone when it comes to your livelihood, meaning how you get out there and earn your money, then guess what? You're going to stay in the same thing. And next thing you know, you're going to be 10, 15, 20 years at the same place. I've got a homeboy who... Me and we started working at the same job, and because he was comfortable where he was, he stayed there, and he didn't take advantage of what the job was offering. And next thing you know, 4, 5, 6 years had passed, and now he's like, "Yo, what do I do?" When he could have used those opportunities, but instead he was comfortable where he was, and he did not grow beyond the confines of his situation. Those comfort zones will trap you, will lock you in, and damn it, you cannot stop time. You can make more money, you can make more friends, you can do all of these things, but you cannot get more time. So you've got to take advantage of it, get out of your comfort zones, and move ahead. And that, of course, leads me to the comfort zones of dating. We're in a day and age where we don't go to the bar anymore, especially now with that 19 hop on top of us, right? That beer virus, Corona. Those things has changed how dating is in the 21st century. In 2021, 2022. We don't get out there and do the things that we used to do, how we used to do them, because it's a completely different landscape. So now what do? We pick up this device and then we swipe left, swipe right, swipe. Oh, she cute. Swipe. Ah, my God, that's a monster. Swipe. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, instead of us really getting to know people, getting to dig in, and more importantly, putting ourselves out there in a vulnerable position, instead we swipe left, swipe right, and give it a 5 or second conversation. It's like, okay, if they don't get your attention within the first 5 minutes of y'all interacting, it's a wrap, right? Why? Because we're in a comfort zone when it comes to meeting certain people, and more importantly, getting to know them. We don't want to get out of those comfort zones at all. Y'all know I got my monster? Because it's Monday. Lord knows I need the energy. Anyway, it's the same situation with I'm sure you've heard of those people like, well, God's going to send me that perfect person. No, the hell he's not. Because if you don't get up out of your comfort zone and think that you just going to praise some God to have some man just magically, or have some woman just magically appear at your front door, no. Well, let me order some Uber Eats, and who knows, maybe the driver is going to be my dream person, my Mr. or Mrs. Right. Get the hell up out of here. Hell no, that's not how it works. If you want to meet someone, you have to present yourself and be vulnerable in that presentation. Meaning, for women, and keep in mind, y'all, like I always say, we do some adult conversations. And before we get into it, all right, we have adult conversations here on these Markland Mondays. We talk about adult topics, we talk about adult themes, and those are the things that we do. Okay? So, with these adult conversations, we're going to say some adult shit. So if you are offended, the door is that way. All right? There's a little button right there. Make sure you click on it and be like, you know what, this dude ain't, I don't like it. I'm going to leave. Okay, bye. No feelings hurt. It will be okay. And also, y'all, if you're in the chat room, please make sure you like this video. I need to get them likes up. I hate to sound like that other dude, but you know what? You got a point. Hit them likes for them, because we need to tickle the algorithm. And we're going to talk about tickling in a second. Anyway, no, you know what I'm saying? If you know that you are looking for someone, if you're out there in the dating market, if you're in a relationship and you're looking for somebody else, so be it. If you are looking, then you have to literally get out there and look, or you have to put yourself in a position to be found. Meaning, you're not just sitting in the pulpit praying, or in the pew praying that, God, please send me that. No, it doesn't work that way. Okay? You're Mr. and Mrs. Right. You're not going to bump into them, in church. You may bump into them at the grocery store. However, it's kind of hard for you to bump into somebody at the grocery store when you order your food from, to be delivered. If you don't want to get out there, how are you going to be met? Okay? You got to get out of the comfort zones. And when it comes to dating, you got to put yourself in places where you can find someone and also where you can be found. And there are also certain things that you have to do as a woman to be found. And as a man, I've always said it, we hunt. You damn sure can't hunt from a bunker. You got to get out there and you got to go after what it is you're looking for. All right. So now let's talk about the comfort zones in relationships, okay? Now, in relationships, it inevitably happens. You fall into routines, be it good or bad. Because once you get familiar with that person, once you get familiar with that special someone, hold on one second, y'all. Excuse me. Now, as you get into those, you get familiar with that person. You've dated them, you've been with them for a while, not necessarily to, as far as the marriage aspect of it. There are certain things that you just fall into certain routines. And then what happens is, that's why you see someone, that's my girlfriend. How long y'all been together? Oh, about 12 years. Damn, bro, y'all plan on getting married? Damn, sis, you just gonna stick around? I get it. Some people like being in long-term relationships, to each his own. However, that's not necessarily the order, especially in this country. I mean, there are certain societies, certain things where people are okay with being together long-term. However, in this country, in this society, in this, how we move in this country, no, we're in it for long-term. It's not a long-term partnership type situation. Not only are there legal benefits to getting married, not only are there societal benefits to getting married, it's just the way it is. So if you just get comfortable being that person's girlfriend, boyfriend, you got to get out of that comfort zone and either make a demand like, not a demand, let's not do that. Either let it be known that, hey, this is what I'm looking for. I am looking for marriage. Or at the same time, sorry, we got to do this. Will you marry me? One way or the other, you've got to make a move and say, this is what I'm looking for. And y'all already know, when you've been in a relationship long enough, the sex becomes routine as well. Them comfort zones go work with sex too. Y'all ladies, y'all know how to work that magic where it's like, all right, you take too damn long. I need to go to sleep. So what y'all do, y'all know the exact right position where you toot it to the left, twist it to the right, half a twist, and then boom, all right, here we go. All right, he's good. Now I can go to sleep. Y'all already know. Yes, it's good. It's you know how to knock it off and make it get to that point, but there's also certain things that you can do to spice it up as well. And keep in mind too, with these comfort zones, there's certain things that you did when y'all first started getting married, and the same applies to my dudes out there. There's certain things that you did when it comes to eating the boom boom, as they say in Jamaica. You do certain things, right? But then as the relationship goes on, then you stop doing certain things. Taking her out on dates, pursuing her, dating her. Remember the hunt that I just referenced when you were in the dating process? Now you've got that certain someone, that special someone. You cannot stop dating them. The dating process does not end. It never ends. You've got to keep at all times dating that person. Okay? You cannot get into a comfort zone of, well, I got her, so, let's just relax on the couch. No, you got to continuously keep dating your partner. And eventually that partner becomes your spouse. But even then, the comfort zones when it comes to being in those long-term marital relationships are also issues as well. All right? Now think about it. One of the benefits to being married is your spouse provides you with a certain level of comfort, because you know that person is going to be there for you. They're going to be there with you through thick and thin. That's just one of the many, many benefits of knowing that you have your spouse, your significant other, your long-term partner, your husband, your wife, and that you know that you can fall and that person is going to catch you. However, what happens so many times when it comes to marriages is that things can be out of alignment. Meaning, instead of what is traditionally the husband being the head of the household, now you have a situation where the wife is running the house. And of course, what's the husband do? He's comfortable just to sit back, relax, put his feet up, because, hey, wife's got it. But yeah, I get it. It's comfortable for you. But when things are out of alignment, you are going to run into problems. So those comfort zones are there. There's a certain benefit when a man is operating in his masculine energy and a woman is operating in her feminine. And keep in mind, once again, I'm just speaking on traditional male and female dynamics. I'm all for the LGBTQ. If I miss a couple letters, I promise you it's not on purpose. Love is love, and I don't care what shape, size, or function it comes in. Love is love. However, from my experience, I'm just speaking from the male-female dynamic. If you're out there and you are of another community, by all means, chime in, jump into the chat. I'm going to be posting the link in a second. Let me know what y'all think. I definitely hear from whether it's a gay couple, lesbian couple. I want to hear it. I really do, because these dynamics that I'm talking about, the comfort zones when it comes to men and women in their marriages, male-female marriages, they do apply there as well, because one party has to be the dominant party, one party has to be, for lack of a better word, the more submissive party, okay? And, that doesn't mean that you dominate, you run, there's a certain, if you want to be the leader, someone has to follow. And when things are out of alignment, whether it's a man or a woman, you are going to have problems, because one is going to encroach on the other when it comes to the space and the energy. Now, let's talk about some of the comfort zones that happen when you get into a comfort zone and you don't do the things that you used to do, more specifically. And it doesn't matter what level of relationship it is. You know the things that you started out doing, right? When you first met somebody, for me, I always like to keep it personal and share a little bit of what I do, or what I haven't done, which has led me to some bad situations. I know that there's certain things that my wife loves and she likes, and there's things that I did when we first got together, when I first flexed and decided, I'm tired of talking about the dudes. Come on over here. That kind of thing, right? So there's certain things that I did in order to not only attract her but keep her. However, there are certain things that I stopped doing, and that's to my detriment. There's one thing you've got to do, and I did a show on it before, but it's about consistency. The way you start is the way you have to continue, and that's where you have to keep going. So when it comes to that, if you know that she like you giving her flowers, then give her flowers. And then ladies, let's flip it too now. There are some things that you like that y'all did when we first started. Then y'all stop. I like when why'd you stop? You don't do it the way you used to. You don't, there's certain things that you did that way you flip the tongue, all that good stuff. Why don't you do it anymore? Why, you get to a certain point in a relationship and then you stop. The question is why? And we're going to talk about that. I want to hear what you guys have to think when it comes to comfort zones, because I think that a lot of times a lot of times people get into relationships. You know, you go through all of the drama, all of the headaches that it takes to be with somebody, to date them, to pursue them, to do all of this stuff just to get into a relationship. Things go good for a little bit of time, and then all of a sudden, it just stops. Because you get comfortable with where you are. You're comfortable that, you know what, this person ain't going nowhere. I don't have to try anymore. I don't have to date anymore. I don't have to do anything anymore. And that's not good at all. You know? So we're going to talk about it. I'm about to post the link up in the chat room. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Let's get into it. Let's have this conversation, y'all. Let's talk about comfort zones. Hold on. So Michelle has already dropped a couple of comments in the chat. Let's go through it. Oh, snap. What up, Stephanie? Welcome to the conversation. Good evening, Stephanie. Welcome to the conversation. G Dubs, what's happening? How are you? Michelle, howdy. No, Carrie, I was not offended by the pizza. I was offended, and for those of you that just joined in late, the issue that it wasn't that I was offended by the pizza. I was recounting a story when I was in Jamaica, visiting back home, and cruise ship dropped off a whole bunch of people that went there and ordered pizza and hamburgers and French fries. I was offended at the fact that they didn't want to enjoy the delicious Jamaican food in Jamaica. It's like you go all the way over there just to order some pizza. No, man, no. Anyway, DJ, what's happening? Welcome to the conversation. So Michelle has dropped in a few things as to why relationships, people fall into their comfort zones in relationships. One of the things that Michelle said was boredom. All right, I definitely agree. You do get bored because, like they say, familiarity breeds content. When you're doing the same thing over and over again, and just like you said in your next comment, familiarity. When you're used to doing the same thing, the same routine, then you're going to get the same results, and therefore there is no excitement. There is no anything. So therefore, what you got to do is you got to spice it up. Think about it. I was just referencing jerk chicken, right? Okay, it's the same damn cut of chicken as anything else, but if you jerk it, if you fry it, please don't boil no damn chicken, but you can have the same piece of chicken, but if you season it and freak it a little bit differently, it's going to be so much different. You can have that same thing 5 days a week, but you can make it 5 different ways and therefore breaking it up. Yes, it may be familiar, but you know what? That's how it is. Oh, let me drop that link in the chat room because I want y'all to join this conversation. I want to hear what y'all have to say. As always, y'all in the Zoom, make sure that your mic is connected. Make sure that your yikes, that was ugly. That's a messy link. Let me try that again. Be sure, y'all, when you join the conversation in the Zoom room, please make sure that you close out the YouTube window, because if not, we're going to be in a feedback loop and it's going to sound very, very, very messy. So please make sure your mic is connected. If you don't want to be on camera, let me know. We can just do it, just a verbal conversation. We can do it those ways as well. So, where were we? Let's see, laziness. Definitely. You know what? That's a big one right there. People do fall into the comfort zone, quite honestly, just because of laziness. There's so many things that really, especially in this day and age, y'all, there is nothing under the sun that you cannot do or learn how to do without this device right here or with this device right here. If you want to do something, if you want to go somewhere, visit something, learn something new, all you have to do is pick up your device and hit that damn Google, and damn it, you will learn how to do it. Okay, it's not that difficult at all if you want to learn how to do something new. And the same thing goes with you and your relationships. If there's something new that you want to try or a new place that you want to go, get your ass up and go do it. But it seems like, and I've spoken to quite a few people, but it seems like a lot of times people will be more apt to make a damn excuse than they will to make an effort. You know what I'm saying? Get up off your ass and go do it. I don't care if it's just going to the movies. I get it, though. I do get it. I understand it's the bear virus season. Cool. Things are a little different, but that still doesn't mean you can't get your ass out there and do it. M&K Transit, what's happening, sir? Welcome to the chat. You know I got to preach for you, man. I'm talking to. I'm here for, and I want y'all to keep in mind as well, y'all. I'm not just here for the ladies. I'm here for the fellas as well, because, like I said at the very, very beginning, I love love. All right, and relationships require two people. Well, one person, but I'm not. That's lotion. But anyway, it takes two people. And if both parties aren't working together, if both parties fall into their comfort zone, it's going to be really, really boring. All right. Stephanie, it's laziness and complacency that prompts lack of effort. You know what? That's what I'm talking about. You're exactly right. You get lazy, you get complacent, you fall into that comfort zone, that rut, and then I always liken relationships, y'all, to a tractor trailer. Okay? And let me make sure the Zoom is up and running properly. Okay, I liken relationships to a car, a truck. All right, and just like my man M&K, he's out there driving. There's certain things that you have to do when it comes to driving a truck specifically, right? You have 10 gears usually. First gear is the hardest gear to get started. I've used this analogy before, and I promise you it's appropriate when it comes to dating. First gear is the hardest gear on any vehicle, and especially on a truck. You have all that weight that's just sitting there. You have to get it going. So therefore, you have to put all that torque, all that fuel, all of that power has to be brought to bear in order to get it going. Then as you pick up speed and gain momentum, it requires less energy, less fuel, less effort, because now you have momentum on your side. The same thing goes from relationships. When you're in the comfort zone, in the rut, if you have to keep going and start, you become complacent. Imagine you going and every time you hit the red light, you got to come to a stop. Then you got to start all over again. Start all over again. But if you continuously keep going, keep putting in the effort, not being lazy, making sure that you are doing the things you have to do to keep the relationship going, to keep it fresh, to keep it spicy, then damn it, it makes it so much easier. But if you get lazy, just like Stephanie said, if you get complacent and then you have that lack of effort, you're going to have a failed relationship sooner or later, because you don't stop putting in the work, because you don't got comfortable and you fell into your comfort zone. Michelle says fair, believe it or not. Yo, that is a great point. Fair does do that, because you know what? A lot of times you're so afraid of either losing the person, you're afraid of being vulnerable. Any number of fears when it comes within the context of a relationship will cause you not to do certain things. So you get to a certain point in a relationship, you're like, you know what? This is good enough. I'm going to stop right here. And no, you never stop. You always keep going. Latrice, happy birthday. Hello to you, man. Thank you for joining the conversation. Thank you for joining the conversation. Happy birthday, lady. You know, y'all Virgos. Do I have a meeting passcode? It should be in the link. I think once you hit the link, it should go straight over. But let me see if I can get a passcode for you. Hold on 1 second. Anybody else having any issues joining the Zoom chat? I just posted the link. If you click that link, it should take you right into it right away. But if there's an issue, let me correct that right away. Hold on 1 second. That's weird. Damn technology. All right, let's see. All right, I just tried an updated link. Click that one, and see if you have any issues with that. Anybody else having any issues joining the Zoom chat? Let me know if you have any issues with that. Okay, looks like Michelle Roberts is trying to get in. Hold on. Hey, Michelle, join your link in your. Go ahead and connect your audio, connect your video, Michelle, unless you want to stay off of the. Hey, Zamar, go ahead and unmute. Hey, hold on, Michelle. Let me hear your audio, please. Zamar, go ahead and unmute. Hey, Michelle, you there? There you are. All right, hold on one second. Let me bring you into the chat. Hello, welcome to the conversation. So, as you fix your hair looks really good. Talk to me. So let's talk about comfort zones. What are some of your comfort zones when it comes to dating? What are some of the things that you've done that where you know that you've gotten comfortable about, and what you've done to get out of those comfort zones? And tomorrow, you're next on the chat. Make sure you got your audio connected and your camera as well. What you got, Michelle? Talk to me. Mm-hmm. Okay. Uh-huh. Michelle, hold on one second. Hey, chat room, if you can hear Michelle, can you put a one in the chat? I want to make sure the audio is working. Put a one in the chat. If you can hear what Michelle's saying, put a one in the chat for me. I want to make sure the audio is working. Hold on one second. That where you know that you got comfortable about, and things that what you've done to get out of those comfort zones. And tomorrow, next on the chat, make sure that your audio cameras. What you got, Michelle? Talk to me. Okay, hold on one second, Michelle. Let me got a little audio issue. Give me 1 second. So audio output. Hold on one second, y'all. Thank you, G-Dubs, for letting me know. You are all right with me, lady. Thank you. I don't care what they say about you. You are okay with me. Okay. Let's see why this thing is not working. Default. Yeah, I just muted that. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second, Michelle. Give me 1 second, please. Just say it. Okay, so why is my audio output not working? Hello, Michelle. I know, I muted it up. That's fine. Hold on 1 second. So let's try this again. And all right, so Michelle, here we go. Let's see. Can you hear me now? Michelle, can you hear? Perfect. All right, chat. Oh, snap. Okay, come on, take. Hold on. All right, so I got Michelle right there trying to figure out what is. And she just completely twisted my neck right there. Nah, you're good. You're good. It's like everything does one. Yeah, I can. Everything's working. Y'all in the chat, please be patient with your boy. We are gonna figure this thing out, man. Michelle, you there?
I'm here.
Okay. For whatever reason, the audio is not the video is not transitioning. Now the audio is working. It's like either or. I can hear you. Chat, can you hear me, Michelle? I can't see you. I can see you on my end, but not there. Still a 2? What do you mean? That's terrible. God damn. All right, you know what? God damn it. All right, Michelle, I'm gonna. If you can, come back out and just jump back in, please. Okay. Thanks. Oh, what just happened there? She was actually making some pretty good points too. That just hurt my feelings. Oh, now she's low. Okay, so she was coming through. Perfect. All right, let me turn that down. Okay. Let me try this link real quick, y'all. Give me 1 second. Michelle was actually, she actually gave some pretty good points. She was talking about, all right, this link should work. Still a 2. Yeah, I can hear you. I still hear me. Okay. All right. So you just came back in. All right. Hey, Michelle, you there?
I'm here.
All right. So for whatever reason, we cannot get the video to pop off. But you know what? I want the audience to hear what you had to say. Talk to me. You said that the situation that you had was you had an ex.
Right.
No,
so,
if you don't mind, go ahead.
Absolutely, sure. So for me, my comfort zone was more about fear. Fear of the unknown, fear, of what else was out there, and basically, I felt like I should stick with the danger that I know, with the animal that I know, with the wrong choice of words, with the ooh, with the person that I know. So I had a fear of what was out there in the dating pool. I would rather just stick with the the person that I had, even though I knew for a fact that that wasn't the right person for me. And I have to say, like, I was with that person for over 5 years. I remember, one of the things that he said to me when we broke up was, you know, basically he knew that the next person I got with, I would probably get married to. And that's one of the reasons why every time I would try to end things, he would basically, kind of drag me back in. Um, and lo and behold, when I finally did, end things, when I finally did get over that fear, and it was a fear of a bunch of different things, when I finally said enough is enough, lo and behold, the very next person that I actually, entered into a serious relationship with, I'm now married to. So, comfort zones can really hold you back from your blessings. And I have this kind of like theory, this metaphor that I use, where it's like God can't fill your hand with your blessings if they're already full with, the stuff that that you don't need. Like you have to put some back. You have to, in order to make room for, say a new car, if you will. I think I've heard you use this phrase before, where I think it was like Steve Harvey that said he wanted a new car, but he never got one because he had that junk in his garage, and once he made space in his garage and got rid of that junk, he made space for that new and better thing to come in. So comfort zones can really be a huge detriment if you allow them. And I think it really all just boils down to fear. You're used to a certain situation, so you're afraid to see what else is out there. And the crazy thing is, what else is out there is probably way better than what you're selling for now.
Yeah, and you're definitely right. When you're talking about, first of all, kind of glad you left that situation, because 5 years in a no-win situation, like I said, the comfort zones of dating, when you're with somebody that's a long time for you to be involved with someone, especially if you know that it's not moving to the point that you actually want. You do have to get out of that comfort zone. You do have to move into a better place in order to get to where it is that you want to be. If not, you'll be stuck there for a mighty, mighty long time. And I'm here to tell you that's not what you want, right? So I'm glad that you did make that move. What was it about that previous situation that made you stay in it as long as you did? Was it just the comfort of knowing that you had someone, or was it the fear of the unknown that to say, hey, I want to go out there and try something different?
For me, it wasn't the fact that I had someone, because the relationship that I was in was a joke, like I think everybody and their mom that knew us knew that we shouldn't have been together. So it wasn't the comfort of being in a relationship. For me, it really was the sum of a lot of fears, to be honest with you. Um, Number one, I was afraid of the breakup. Just the breakup itself. I was afraid of going through that, because I knew it was going to be really messy and really just horrible. So I was afraid of dealing with that. And then I was afraid that once I shelved this person, I was going to run out into these streets, and I was going to be met with more of the same. So it's like, all right, I might as well stick with the danger that I know. And I think a lot of people do that. That's why you hear a lot of people that are in these relationships for like 5, 10, 15, 20 years, and y'all are just now getting married at year, 22, and somebody thinks that that's a prize. Like, no, I think that people allow themselves to stay in situations because ultimately they're afraid of what's out there.
Mm, that is so true. That is so true. I think that a lot of times some people think that they can't do better, for lack of a better situation, and are so happy just to say they have somebody, that instead of them getting out there and doing better, they instead stay in a situation that's neither healthy nor happy for them. And next thing you know, like I said, you cannot stop the onset of the time. Time keeps on ticking, and next thing you know, you are stuck in a bad situation. So I definitely, I've seen it time and time again, and you're right. It's definitely a reality that a lot of people, allow fear to dictate love. People allow fear to stop them from pursuing bigger and better things and better relationships.
And I also want to say one other thing. You kind of touched on it. So
Hi. You touch me here. Good.
With my current husband, I knew that I didn't want to waste another 5, 10, however many years. So one of the things that I did was I set a line in the sand day. Now that line in the sand day, he did not know what that day was. It was a line in the sand for me, where I told myself if things didn't progress to a certain point by a certain time, then I needed to put my big girl pants on, and I needed to get out of my comfort zone, and I needed to move. I needed to make a move. And what that helped me
I think panties are of the devil. Go ahead.
What that helped me do was I made sure to be very clear with where I wanted our relationship to progress. And again, I never told him the date, although he eventually learned, but I never told him about this line of saying that it's not an ultimatum. It's not for the other person, it's for yourself. So that's something that I did for myself. I was like, if by this certain day we're not where I think we should be, I need to have a conversation with myself about moving on. And I think that really helped change how I looked at relationships. And it really helped change how I looked at myself and how I valued myself was to place that timeline on myself to where I needed to say, hey, I got to choose me come this date.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily, things worked out because, I have an awesome husband now. So, there's that.
You know what? I'm definitely glad to hear that, man, for real. Because and thank you for joining the chat. Thank you so much for for your input.
I got you.
No doubt. Thank you, Michelle. So Michelle made a lot of good points, as or don't spill that. Michelle made a lot of good points, in as she talked about the fears of the breakup, and also when she talked about the end date, because when you give, like she said, she didn't give that person an ultimatum or anything like that, but she had a date in mind that she was like, yo, this is the date. If things don't progress to where I want it to be at a certain point, then I'm out. That is a difficult thing to do, because it's like, if you've been with someone for a certain period of time, if you've been with someone for a certain period of time, and things don't move, then if you say, you know what, I'm going to walk away, that is difficult, because once again, that's the unknown. That's you saying, hey, I am done. I'm leaving. Ooh, that's scary in and of itself. So kudos to her for that, and I'm glad she's in a happy, healthy relationship right now. So tonight, y'all, the conversation is about comfort zones. I'll drop the link in there. I really want to hear what you guys, some of the things that have been in your comfort zones, and we're also going to pivot a little bit into the more adult portion of the conversation, right? There are certain things that, as adults, we did when we first let me back it up. Let me massage you the conversation. Let me say it like this, right? There's certain things that people start out doing, and there's certain things that, as you grow and mature in relationships, usually in marriage, that you try new and different things. The other day, when in our conversation about does size matter, Casey Carter came on and she was talking about dildos, and she brought out this one monster that made this monster can jealous, right? Because it's like, damn. However, what she was talking about in that specific section in our conversation, what she was talking about was the fact that there are certain things that you do sexually to bring pleasure into your relationship that may be unorthodox, that may be different, that may be frowned upon in this establishment, whatever the case may be. However, both parties have to realize that, you know what? My partner, my spouse, my mate wants to try something different. All right. It may be something as simple as, like, I don't know if where everyone's from. If you could put it in the chat, let me know where y'all are from. Well, if you're in Atlanta, let me know. If you're in Georgia, let me know. If you're, what part of the world, what part of the country you're from, let me know. Personally, y'all, I'm in Atlanta. Let me know where y'all are. But anyway, here in Atlanta, there are a couple different adult establishments. I'm not just talking about the strip club, but let's start with the strip club. There may be a case where, ladies, have you ever taken your man or went to a strip club with your dude? If not, why? And if you have, let me know about that experience. Was it something that he may or may not have wanted to do? I'm curious. Those are different things, like I'm talking about with the with the Hold on a second. Stephanie in the ATL. That's what I'm talking about. All right. So of course Chris is in Atlanta. Stephanie's in the ATL. Now there's certain there are many strip clubs in and around the great state of Atlanta. Okay. So that may be something new and different that taking you out of your comfort zone with your partner that you may or may not have been. There are different things, like I said, that you can do. And the strip club, honestly, I don't want to say it's basic, but that's like the bottom tier. Now, there are other things here in and around the city. There are many different adult sex clubs, right? What is it? You have trapeze. You have, what's the other one? What is that thing called? The Loft. Ooh. Okay. Now, you may or may not want to participate in said activities. However, they are there. Now, in order to go, you do have to do some things, and it's memberships and all that. However, it's not even necessarily about participating. It's about getting out of your comfort zone and trying something new, especially if that's something that your partner's interested in, right? Now, if your partner's into certain kinds of kinks and stuff like that, hold on 1 second for me, okay? Headset is acting the donkey. What is going on? Sorry about that. My headset was acting up. Okay, so I mean, if there are things that your partner may or may not be interested in, like I said, they're different. You don't have to participate. What I'm saying is just a matter of you, getting out of your comfort zone and trying something new, something different, just to see. Okay. Yeah, and there are other spots as well. Thank you to the chat. Here in Atlanta, the Loft. Like I said, with me and my wife, we've been to these places, just in full disclosure. Now, do we go? For us, it's kind of like, for what I do, like going all the way back to what I said. Love dating, love relationships, love my marriage, right? So in other words, there are so many different things, and it goes, we love to travel. One of the things when we do go to somewhere different, we never go in, like for instance, if we go to, say, San Francisco, we're not going to some random Subway or, some other restaurant like that. What we're doing instead is we're trying new and different places in and around that area, right? So, because it's like, yeah, we go there just to see what it is. And like, you know what? We've been there. That's interesting. The dungeon, that's something else. All right. Here in Atlanta, there is a dungeon, a sex dungeon where it's what's it called? BDSM. Yeah. Bondage, bondage, domination, sadomasochism. Yeah. That's part of it. And it's here in Atlanta. Once again, if there's certain things that you may be interested in, it's amazing what this device will help you find. Or if you log into a computer, you'll find it. Okay? Michelle knows all the hot spots. That's what I'm talking about. Venus was pooping. Now, here's the thing. If you're into pooping, to each his own, that's a little bit out of my comfort zone personally. But hey, if you're into... No, Venus was popping as well. And trapeze. There are so many different places that you can go and check out in order to try something different, in order to get out of that comfort zone. Like I said, y'all, if you want to try different things, if you want to go to different places, there is absolutely nothing stopping you from doing so outside of you. Absolutely nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's like the comfort zones are there, and they allow you to stay in the same place. They allow you to be stagnant. And just like, Stephanie said a while back, if I can go up and find that comment, laziness and complacency that prompts the lack of effort. If I've always said that foreplay starts way before you get into the bedroom, right? You start seducing your partner way before, you get to the bed. It's certain conversations that are held throughout the day, certain things, there are things that you do to start pushing those buttons in order to get reactions. And that's the effort that Stephanie is saying in her comment, right? Those are the things that you have to do in order to make sure that those conversations lead to something different. You put in the effort. It's a lot of silly comments here tonight. Hold on one second. Oh man. Hold on one second. Oh, that's silly. Someone just sent me a private message saying, okay, where are these places? Y'all, they're all over the web. They're all over the internets, as it were. And if you're looking for one of those places, all you really have to do is just do a simple search. But at the same time, you also have to know what is it that you're interested in. And there are people, that are literally right around the corner that would be more than happy to answer those questions. In order for you to try something new, to try something different, and quite honestly, even if you're not in a relationship, even if you are by yourself, even if by yourself, I mean you're just unencumbered, as we say in the real estate field. In other words, it's just you. A lot of time to reload my monster. You need to figure out what it is exactly that you like. What are the things that interest you? What are the things that turn you on? What are the things that get your juices flowing? So it's one of I always tell people, when I do dating and for consults, for lack of a better word, when people ask me like, yo, my wife's birthday's coming up, I want to try something different. The first thing I ask them is like, all right, what does she like? And a lot of times like, well, I don't know. It's like, okay. It's kind of hard for you to start when you don't know, because if you don't know that person, and more especially if that person doesn't know themselves, it's hard for you to get them out of their comfort zone, right? Now, let me break all that down, because that was a whole lot of minutia. Let me break that down. In fact, got my notepads. All right. If you don't know what you like, if you don't know what turns you on, then it's hard for you to articulate that to someone else. Right? So what are the things that you like to do? I always tell people, if you're going to take somebody out on a date, take them to a place that you like. Me personally, like I'm into, if it moves, I'm into it, right? So a good first date for me would be K1. Now, that would mean that lady, the person that you take on the date to K, and just for those of you who don't know, K1 is one of those places with go-karts and all that. So therefore, what you're doing is you're literally racing go-karts around the track. Don't knock it till you try it. It's just fun as hell, right? But something simple like that. I'm interested in that. So what I'm doing is I'm bringing you into my world, into my comfort zone, for lack of a better term. And therefore, you're getting to learn something about me. But if you don't know what you like, it's hard for you to tell somebody else what you like. You have to know it yourself. And the same thing goes sexually. What are the things that you like? So that way you can then tell somebody when they're not doing those things, when they've gotten all comfortable in the relationship, once it gets to that point, what are the things that you yourself like? You have to know. And if you don't know, like I said, it's going to be hard as hell for them to try and figure it out. Sorry, y'all. I am reading these, getting a couple PMs. It's like people want to say stuff, but they don't want to say it in the chat. It's like, yo, come on now. Don't be scared. Say what you got to say. Okay, let me ask this. Ladies, have you ever taken a man to the strip club? Put a 1 in the chat. G-Dubs, welcome to Atlanta. I know you're in Atlanta. That's what's up. If you have ever taken a man to a strip club, or your significant other, if whatever your orientation may be, have you ever taken them to a strip club? And how was that experience? I want to know. I want to get nosy now. And when you took them to the strip club, was that your idea, or did they say, yo, this is what I want to do? How did that go? So Michelle has taken them to the strip club. Okay. It's like this chat is acting very stupid. It's so weird. So Michelle says one, she has taken him to the strip club. Carrie says yes, she's taken him to the strip club. Okay. Have I taken a young lady to a strip club? Yes, I have. How did that go? It was interesting. She enjoyed herself, but she just didn't know what to do. She's like, all right, do I? It was kind of, it was awkward, but it was fun. Michelle says, hubby and I went to Blaze on our first date. Man, that's where I like y'all's relationship. Ain't no damn comfort zones over there. That's what I'm talking about. She said her first date. Man. For those of y'all, well, it seems like everybody's here in Atlanta. Blaze, for those of you that don't know, is it's a sophisticated strip club here in Atlanta. And when I tell you, I've been to Blaze a time or three, and it's a nice establishment. It's a nice establishment. So Michelle says that hubby and I went to Blaze on their first date. Their second date. Huh. Not mad at that. Not mad at that at all, because y'all, it's amazing. You know what? I think a lot of people, once again, those comfort zone things, people think that, okay, if you go to the strip club, no, it's actually fun. Don't knock it until you try it. Like I said, get out of that comfort zone and try something different. You would be surprised as to, the conversation that can be had, there in a strip club. It is interesting. The time or four that I've went to a strip club, it was an interesting time for sure. I need to reload. M&K says, me and my wife goes all the time. Which strip club y'all go to, sir? Hold on 1 second, y'all. Like I said, I got to reload. All right. Oh. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all, if I get one more message. Okay. We're going to end this one tonight. Man, I just got a nice little message right there, which is like, yo. But I like that, y'all. Like I said, tonight's conversation was definitely, about comfort zones. I know we touched on a few things when it comes to comfort zones and dating, but the most important aspect of this conversation, y'all, is about making sure that you do not fall into ruts in your relationship. In other words, you're always trying new things. You're always looking to improve. You know where you started from. There's something about that person that attracted you to them in the first place, and now you're going to build on that. You're not just going to say, you know what, we here, so we're just going to stay in the same No, you're always looking to grow. You're always looking to improve. You're always looking to make your relationship better. Good Lord, y'all hit all the strip clubs in Atlanta. Woo, my man. Never been to Magic City. But anyway, so that's what it is about. Getting out of your comfort zone and working on your relationship, building on your relationship from where you started from to where you're going, making sure that you are consistently progressing forward and making sure that you don't just get comfortable. You don't just be like, I got that person, we're good to go. So as always, y'all, we are always going to have these conversations. Every Monday, we're going to have these Markland Mondays conversations about relationship, love, sex, marriage, all of that good stuff, the good, the bad, all of the things that go with it every Monday. So make sure, like I said, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please make sure that you click that like button, click the subscribe button, make sure that, because every Monday, I need y'all to make sure you hit that like, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe. As always, y'all, Never been to Magic City either, Michelle. Seems to me, I might have to make a trip. Let me reach out to the wife and be like, hey, let's go hit up Magic City. Gotta get this. Anyway, hey, y'all, thank you for joining in the conversation. And as always, y'all, stay determined. Y'all have a good one.